Hi, this is Stan. And yesterday I told you a little bit about the fact that I am a blessed man. I should be dead of cancer. Could have killed me. But thanks to Jesus and Dr. Jenny and some good grace and fortune, I'm well alive and doing well. And hopefully now that I'm alive, I'm going to live like I'm alive. Go back and listen to yesterday's program on doing just that. And today I'm going to talk to you about a Lexus, a car. I used to love my Lexus until someone killed it. That's right, they killed my Lexus. A Lexus, a cup of coffee, a pig, and baseballs. That's right. If you want to understand business today, one of the things you're going to have to understand is the Lexus, the cup of coffee, the pig, and baseball. And you're also have to understand that in this age of acronyms, you are in the ice age. And if you don't understand what the ice age is, your business will be on ice and you will be frozen out in the cold. So let's learn about the Lexus, let's learn about the cup of coffee, let's learn about the pig and the baseball and the ice age. All of this stuff in just about 20-25 minutes. You're listening to The Jesus Entrepreneur, and it starts right now. Indeed, I welcome you. My name is Stan Hustad. I'm the lead broadcaster. I'm the person who has the opportunity to stand before the little Yeti blue microphone in Studio 1 on Route 77, the Radio Edge studio, and a Radio Edge production. We simply call it The Jesus Entrepreneur, brought to you by the Christian Entrepreneur Network. I'm a business performance coach, I'm a teacher, I'm a broadcaster, and I'm here to help you build your entrepreneurial business. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to find out a little bit about the ice age, and you need to understand that. ICE, I-C-E. Business leader, if you don't have an internet strategy, your business will not likely survive. That doesn't mean you have a website. That doesn't mean you have a Facebook. It means you have an entire business strategy. I told you yesterday, every business is in the communication industry, and every business will do much of their communicating through the digital internet media. So today, if you want to do well in business, you're going to have to be serious about how you use the tool called the Internet. It's pervasive, so we tend to forget how much it is changing and is changing everything, but you have to be aware. Do a little bit of audit, find some coaching as to just how your business will go and grow using the Internet. Because the next thing you have to know is it is a connection economy. The ice age is an economy. It's an internet economy. It's a get-connected economy. Years ago, people used to have a little bit of what they called the Rolodex. They'd collect business cards and put them in this little roller container called a Rolodex. I don't even know if they still have them. I'm sure they still do in some places, but most people don't have that. It is obviously on their smartphone, on their computer. That's where they keep their information. And what we now know is that your business will go and grow, not on the basis sometimes of you having a better product or a better service, but it's that you are so well and better connected to people around the world. And you're going to have to figure out how to do that. My business is worldwide. I hardly ever step out of my little studio here in southern Arizona. Beautiful day today, but my business is all over the world. Using the internet, I'm connected to thousands of people around the world. And that's how we do business. And your business will have to find a way to be connected. So think about that. Internet, what's my strategy? What are my tools? What are my objectives? Okay, connection. How do I increase my connectedness to people so that I can come into their lives, invited into their lives, enjoying that connection with me, and I provide value that they pay me for. But then, it's the one we talked about yesterday, and we continue on. The experience economy. We are in an age where the internet will help us be connected so that we, using that and all kinds of other, oftentimes very personal, very relational, all that good stuff about past days of business, we can create a wonderful, charming, pleasant experience that will help our business grow. That's what I'm talking about. The Ice Age, Internet. Going to look you straight in the eye without stumbling around. How are you using the Internet besides sending emails? How are you using the Internet to help your business go and grow? Connected. How do you connect with people? What is your strategy for connecting with people around the world so they know about you? They have a way to know how good you are, and they have a way to purchase your services and your products and pay you for them and pay you well. And are you seeking to create the experience in an age where everybody is doing the same thing the same way? Do you have a way of making you different? Every product, there's 1,000 people providing it. Every service, there's thousands of people providing it. And there are more people providing it and more people doing it than are needed. And many of those people are not going to make it. The ones who make it will be the ones who have iced the deal. They have used the Internet to be connected, and they have used the Internet to be connected, and they have learned how to create an experience. How do we do that? Well, we've given you a few examples, particularly from some situations in Las Vegas, the city of experiences. But today I want to tell you some 2 personal stories about how you then can begin to think about the experience your business needs to be and create and to share with clients, customers, and the people you want to attract. How do we do that? Lexus, coffee cup. Pig, baseball. That's next. I'm Stan Hustad. This is Radio on the Edge. This is the Jesus Entrepreneur. I once owned a Lexus. It wasn't a new Lexus, but it was brand new to me, and it was wonderful. And I drove it for a while, and eventually my wife took it over, and we loved it. It had 207,000 miles on it. It was going wonderfully. It was still beautiful when some silly woman was texting. And because she wasn't paying attention to her driving, she smashed right into the back of our Lexus. And when all was said and done, the insurance company called it totaled. And we lost our beautiful Lexus. Wonderful car. But here's the story. Lexus was different and is different. When I first got a Lexus, of course, my wife was very, very happy. And so I drove it for a while, but she mostly drove it, and eventually she took it over and gave me another car, or something else. I got a truck, but she had the Lexus. But here's what happened, is that shortly after we got it, she said to me that the blinker light is out, the turn signal light. And I said, okay, why don't you let me know? I'll have some time on the weekend. I'll go down to the auto repair shop and I'll buy one of those little lights. They're about $5-6, and I can put it in myself. And she looked at me and says, I don't have time to do that this weekend. I want it done now. I need it done right now. I don't want to drive without worrying about that. So I'm going to go take it to the dealer. I said, don't take it to the dealer. You'll pay a ton of money more. It's $5 or $6, and I'll take care of it. She says, I'm going to take it to the dealer. I think you know what happened. She drove into the dealer, and it just so happens that as she drove in, she saw a sign that says, "Welcome to the Lexus Experience." And somebody saw her come in, nice young man, well-dressed, saw the license plate, punched it up, saw that there was a woman in the car, took a chance, and said, "Are you Mrs. Hustad? Welcome to the Lexus Experience." Wow! He knew her name, and he used her name, and he greeted her by name, and he smiled, and he was nice, and he was sweet. "May I help you?" She explained her predicament, and he said, "We can take care of that. It's just about 20 minutes. We'll get you in right now, Mrs. Hustad. By the way, go over to the waiting room. I'll call you. Fancy coffee there. There's chocolate chip cookies or anything else you want. Help yourself to the magazines. If you want to keep a few, that's just fine. TV is on. You can go into another room and hear some nice music if you'd like. Make yourself comfortable. It won't take long. Lots of nice things in our waiting for good stuff room." And she smiled and said, "Great, that's nice." And as she walked away, almost as if it was choreographed, he walked up to her again and said, "Mrs. Hustad, as long as you're here, would you like me to wash the car?" And she said, "Well, how much will that be?" "Oh, Mrs. Hustad, that's just part of the experience. That's just because you're here." "Oh, that would be nice." And she found herself saying "that would be nice" about 4 or 5 times in that conversation. That would be nice. That would be nice. That's what you want people to say all the time. That would be nice. She had a cup of Starbucks coffee. Not cheap, bad coffee. Beautiful Starbucks coffee. She had a copy of the Wall Street Journal to look at. She saw one of her favorite magazines that she hadn't seen, and she took him up on it. She picked it up and took it out. And there she went out and found out that the car was beautifully washed and ready for her. And she got her bill, and instead of being the $3 to $5 for the light bulb that I would have paid for it, the bill was about $79. Now, did she get ripped off? She got perhaps the same light bulb that I could have gotten for $5 or $6. By the time all of that happened, she had paid $79 for the service. Was she ripped off? She loved it. She can hardly wait for an oil change. You see, what she bought and what she loved was the experience of being treated as one of the nicest persons in the world. And that's what Lexus specialized in. How can we turn a car and the car owning experience into a premium experience so we can charge premium prices for who we are and what we do? And part of that was a cup of Starbucks. And Starbucks is another key. You can buy a pound of ground coffee somewhere in Costa Rica or wherever else it's made, and you can probably pay $1 a pound for the raw beans, maybe $2. And you know what happens by the time they bake it and take it and roast it and put it in a can. At the grocery store, it's now about $5 to $6 a pound. But what happens is the restaurant buys it for even less, and what they do it is they brew it, serve it, and clean up after you, and they charge $2 a cup for that coffee. Wow! From $2 for a pound to $5 for a pound to $2 for a cup. And of course then Starbucks came along and said, we will turn coffee not into just a drinking sensation, a drinking service. We will create the Starbucks experience, and they charge $4 to $5 for that cup. See, that's the business they're in. A number of years ago, there was a little business in St. Paul, Minnesota, that put together a minor league baseball team called the St. Paul Saints. And how could they compete? Because right across the street, you could almost see it, was the huge stadium of the Minnesota Twins, a Major League Baseball team. And this was just a group of small wannabes, maybe never will be's, people trying to make it in a little minor league operation. the baseball wasn't that good. But what the genius named Bill Veeck did is he said people, when they come to watch a St. Paul Saints game, are not just going to watch baseball. They're going to have an experience. And when people came, there were entertainers, there were bands, there were fireworks, there were all kinds of things that people could come and enjoy. And they could even bring their own lunch if they wanted to. And the fun thing was that when the umpire needed new baseballs, people loved it. Because when the umpire needed new baseballs, they had a trained pig with a baseball hat on who had a bucket, and he would carry the bucket of balls out to the umpire, and he would deliver the balls to the umpire and then go back. It was a pig who carried the baseballs, and people loved it. They thought that was the funniest thing they ever saw, and they could hardly wait to see the pig carrying baseballs. Now, what the man did is the product didn't matter. The product was a minor league baseball game. But he changed the business completely by making it into a family entertainment experience. That's what it was. It wasn't about watching a good baseball game. It was about what people could do, having fun together in a small, intimate surrounding with all kinds of things that made it affordable and fun for a family to come to. Now, did they make a ton of money? No, but they made a good living because they were creating an experience. A pig carrying a baseball helped to turn an ordinary product into somewhat of a very desirable experience. I tell you those stories because I want you to think now, how could you take who you are, what you do, the product you serve, and the people who come to serve, be served, and partake in your business, how could you make it more worthwhile, raise your price by thinking about what Lexus does, what Starbucks does, what the pig carrying the baseballs does to make their business better and more profitable? Hey, just think about that. What would your business be like if you truly did internet connected experience? I think you just might ice it. I'm Stan Hustad. This is Radio on the Edge. This is the Jesus Entrepreneur. Thank you for your time. I hope this was fun. Now, just a thought. This is for Christian entrepreneurs, the Jesus Entrepreneur. It's about Jesus. And what we have is that God, in His wisdom, knew that God out there, God found in the Ten Commandments, in the laws, in everything else, that eventually people were going to say, knowing about God, knowing there is a God, serving a God, it's not enough. And what Jesus was, you can experience God. He's not only going to be with you, He's going to be one of you. Not just with you, not by you, not among you. God is going to be one of you. And you can experience what God is all about when you have that relationship with the Jesus Entrepreneur, the man of sorrow and victory, the man of tears and cheers, the man who can bring the Spirit of God, not only so we can know it, believe it, but we can experience the power, the mercy, the blessings, and the grace. God is an ultimate experience maker, and He invites you to experience Him. Not just know about Him, not just believe in Him, not just serve Him, but experience Him. Just let that sit on your head. I'm Stan Hustad. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Be back again for The Jesus Entrepreneur.